So let's take a look, because the New Zealand, and you got out of the New Zealand, right? So anyway, with the pound, with the dollar Aussie, with the Aussie dollar, I really have an affection to the Australian dollar. It is one of the easiest pairs to trade, and having said that, it is the same thing with the New Zealand, because both of them pretty much move in tandem and they act the same way, and if you one pair would give you a good heads up for the other side. So right now, as you can see, this thing is moving from one structure point to the next, and it stops. And the 101.82, this has been spectacular. The 101.82 has been magnificent. I mean, this thing has, I mean, if we just traded on either side of the 101.82 from the last several months and did nothing else, look at this. 101.82, it stops and it turns around. It makes a low and it flies up all the way up to the 105 something. And it has done that multiple times. And it also did not fail this time either. So it came down, just poked its head below the 101.82, turned around, and now it's flying. And it has closed the week at 103.90. We have a structural point at 103.94. Now, the high of the day of Friday was 103.99. Okay, the structure point is 103.94. Usually one of the tells that something is amiss is once you go above a structural point and you fail to see any follow through either to the upside or to the downside. If I break and I trigger above the 103.94, there must be a ton of buy stops sitting above there to be triggered and give me some explosive move to the upside. Failing to do so just makes me a little bit kind of suspicious, and maybe that is just a knee-jerk reaction that we're expecting in the last couple of days. So I'm not going to jump in to buy the Aussie dollar unless it trades above, in this case, this comes Brandon, like we were talking a minute ago about the structure point being 10 pips away or 5 pips away from the high of the day. So in this case, I will stick with the structure point so that I don't confuse the issue, just to remain on the consistency. But we want to make sure it takes out the high. So we are going to buy it above the 103, let's say the 94, just to be consistent, that's all. But you can, and of course that is going to be in this case our stop. Okay. On the short side, I will pinpoint a short entry in a minute, but that is my short structure point, which is the 103. That's my short structure point. Now let's see where I'm going to buy this, sell this. Honestly speaking, guys, I would not sell it unless it comes. I know it is far away. It's 90 pips away from the current price action, but take a look at this. This is when you know that you did your homework, and if you pinpoint or you choose a structure point, then it is not just a fluke. You didn't just pick a number because it looked good. This is what the market is telling you. Look at this. That 103.28, which is the structure point from the daily, is the midpoint of your opening range, and it is the point where the market has sat at for at least a couple of hours, and then it resolved itself to the upside. So yeah, this is by itself is in, but when it comes in that it lines up with my structure and it hasn't broken through it, then there is no reason for us to make a premature entry to go short, because the behavior is going to be similar. It's going to come up to here and it's going to stop. So I will not sell it. There is no reason for us to sell it unless it breaks below the 103.28. So my short is going to be the 103.28, and if it's far away, we can manage the trade whenever we see it during the trading session. So to wrap this, Aussie dollar, we're buying it above the 103.94, which is the structure long point. So it's going to be our buy, our long, structure long, and our stop. Or we're going to go short below the 103.28, which is our structure short point and also our stop. Okay, that is the Aussie dollar. Let me save that. And